Hello, and welcome to Round Glass. My name is Lisa Kring. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and a longtime practitioner and teacher of Vipassana Buddhism. And I'm so happy to be with you. I always get really excited with this live stream format. We can all practice together. We can connect to each other in real time. Welcome. And just like I'm bringing you into my living room, it just feels really intimate and lovely. So welcome. And I'm so happy we're all here today. Or right now, to heal this deep and powerful emotion of guilt, such a universal emotion that we all feel as human beings in this life. And I'm going to say a few words before we move into the practice that can allow us to allow any emotion of guilt that arises for any reason to be an opportunity for healing, actually, for growth. So really tune into that. But before I do that, I'd just to offer this question in the chat if you don't already see it. And this is, and let's share together. When you feel guilty, what do you tend to do? So I'm just seeing what people are sharing, overthinking and over apologizing. Yes, I'm sure everyone just relates to that. Someone said start dropping things like keys. That's really funny. We kind of get bumbly, right? Someone said eat. Wow. Thank you for sharing that. I think that is such a common automatic habit. When we feel guilty, we want to feed ourselves, right? This healing practice is a kind of feeding of our heart, but in a way that the heart really needs it. So thank you for that. Someone said make amends, and that's really beautiful. That's the natural tendency in the heart of when we feel guilty, is to make amends. And that's a little bit of what we'll be tuning into. Someone else says distract myself, very, very common, and push away the feeling. Usually that's what we do when any painful emotion is arising, is that we want to push it away. We want to resist it. We want to numb ourselves with food. We want to distract ourselves. So thank you all for sharing, and I hope that it makes you feel even more human and also more ready to open to the reality of guilt and to see how perhaps it can be an opportunity for healing and for growth. So just a few words before we move into the guided practice, and I'm so happy we're all here right now. And as I'm sharing and just saying these few words, just to get us on the right footing before we move into the meditation as a practice, you can just sit back and just see how these words resonate, drop in for you. So we can all be burdened by guilt. This is just part of the human condition. It actually can feel like, and it's being weighted down. That's how it feels with me when I feel guilt in my heart. It weighs me down. It's a real burden. So see if that's how it feels for you too, the flavor of guilt. We're learning as we heal different emotions, we're learning to get to know each one, to become more familiar, to recognize, to identify them accurately. And often emotions are really felt in the body. And so tuning into that's a heavy, burdening feeling. So guilt is normal. It can be painful, of course, as we've all shared, but it is a powerful and important emotion that needs careful attention and care. It's actually signaling to us that something is needed. Guilt is a kind of inner red flag that signals that perhaps we've harmed someone or even ourselves in some way, intentionally or unintentionally. It's a good red flag. It's waking us up to perhaps some harm that's been done. It's important to feel it and to give it time in our awareness. This is something that we need to respect and pay attention to. I have learned through this practice that I'm going to share with you right now that whenever I've done anything wrong, which I regret and leads to some guilt, it's a golden opportunity. Deep down, and this is the beautiful practice, the guilt is shining light and showing us that we care about other people. If we didn't feel guilty, that would be the bigger problem, right? That we're human, always growing and learning. So actually turning towards the guilt is what we're going to learn to practice right now together. And it then allows for a deep process of inner growth, insight, and healing. Guilt is a signal, and this is what we're going to tune into, that perhaps we are not living into accord with our deepest values. We've stepped out of our deepest self, the self that we'd like to be in the world. This is normal. It's to be expected for all of us. And so guilt is a really healthy, important emotion to pay attention to. It means that it's time for us now to see what we can do to attend to the inner work, to move back into alignment with our deepest values, to do the right thing, and to restore that sense of returning into our best self. And through guilt, actually, if you can frame it this way, it's the opportunity to even be a better self. So how does that feel? How does that sound, everyone? I hope it feels really welcome. What a beautiful thing. And I'm so glad you're all here that we can practice this together. So I'd like to invite you to shift now into a real meditative posture. And this is very personal. There's no right way to sit or to lie when we practice in this way. But take a few minutes just to rest into a posture that for you feels awake. We're learning to wake up to this heart that's telling us, it's showing us that we need to pay attention. So you might want to open the chest. This is a heart practice. You might want to open the chest a little bit. And you want to feel very stable in the body, very comfortable. It'll be about 20 minutes that I'll be guiding this practice. So whatever feels sustainable for you, for about 20 minutes where you can rest easily in your body, supported yet awake, ready for growth. How about that? A posture that really embodies growth and your full potential. So I invite you to find that in the body. And when you're ready, let's settling into the body, whatever posture feels right. Take a few deep cleansing breaths, and we'll take just a few minutes. The first few minutes will really be about establishing in this very simple way this mindful, embodied presence. What is it like to really show up in the present moment? Fully present, available, non-judgmental, curious, receptive, and caring and kind. This is the quality of mindful awareness. So let's do this by just letting the body lead for these first few minutes and just dropping the awareness. Allow this gentle, mindful awareness to saturate throughout the whole body and literally feel into the truth of this body right now. Take a few deep cleansing breaths. The breath can be such a natural, beautiful bridge into presence. So take a nice deep breath, really feeling the wholesome quality of that breath. It's beautiful to really recognize that the breath is the flow of life right now, connecting you to life. And as you breathe in, really feeling that life force energy, literally, as you breathe in, expanding the whole body as you breathe in, just feeling into the truth of that breath throughout the body. And as you breathe out, just slowing this down a little bit, letting the out breath be a lovely way to just let go in the body, letting the out breath be like a cleansing wave that flows throughout the whole body, truly letting go. And just taking as many deep cleansing breaths as you need, given whatever day you've had, to move into more embodied presence. The breath becomes a lovely, natural, mindful anchor into mind-body connectivity. And see if you can just know what it's like to drop in to embodied presence, dropping down into the body. And then you can just, for this next minute, you can let the breath find its own natural rhythm. It will do this without you having to do a thing. You can really just lean back. And I invite you to physically lean back and drop down. And just let the breath, like gentle waves on an open sea, just let it gently rock and soothe the body as it does, and calm the whole nervous system as it will. You can let the breath lead, and just take your life just for now, just for this next minute, one sacred breath at a time. Just for now, just for now. And along with the breath, you can also feel into the support of the earth holding the body. This can be a very reassuring, relational experience in the present moment. Both the breath, the breathing body, always here, returning with every breath to that felt direct experience in real time, while also really surrendering into the support of the earth, so stable, so reassuring. Feel the earth's support right now, right here with you, holding this body, supporting the body fully, and let that establish a nice mindful foundation before we move into this deep practice of healing guilt. Feel the support of the earth right there with you. So as you rest in the breath, naturally letting the breath just lead in this mindful awareness, also feeling the support of the earth. Letting that establish a nice foundation for mindfulness. And a beautiful foundation in real time for all of us practicing together right now. How beautiful to recognize that the breath is breathing us all of us in this present moment as we live stream. The breath is breathing us all together right now. And that the earth is also right now in this present moment holding all of our bodies together. So let the group experience be part of this practice. It's so beautiful to practice in community, all breathing together, connected to the earth together, in this present moment, letting that bring you home. Now we'll move into when you feel stable enough in this present moment, mindful awareness, really resting in that. I'd like to move us into the healing guilt practice. And before we do, it's lovely to feel into the heartfelt intention that brought you to this practice, that wants the best for you, and see if you can literally tune into, and once again, dropping down into the felt sense of this good and caring heart that somehow brought you here. You tuned in, and it's almost like an inner compass, this deep goodness that we're learning to trust and to align and to bring us into more and more balance and alignment with our best selves. So feel into the truth of that right now. That potential wants the best for you, wants you to really live up and in accordance with your deep values, this good heart. So rest in that for a moment. Let that support this practice for you as you move into your best self, as we heal guilt together. Now, when you're ready, in order for us to get a sense of guilt in real time, I am going to invite you to consider a situation, perhaps recent, that led to some degree of guilt for you, that triggered a little bit of guilt for you. And I'd like to invite you just to consider that situation in your mind's eye, make it quite vivid. And it's amazing how when we bring this situation to mind, whatever it may be, that does elicit a little bit of guilt. A situation where perhaps you didn't do the right thing, where there was an impact, perhaps on another person, another being. And as you get in touch with this situation, bringing it to life in your mind's eye and placing yourself there just enough. You don't have to be flooded with the experience. You can just allow yourself to just rest just at the edge of the experience enough so that you can tap into this emotion and let it be an opportunity for healing and growth. So bringing this situation to life, what happened, what's going on, is there anyone else there? Placing yourself there enough to feel any guilt that will naturally bubble up in this situation for you. And this is an opportunity to actually turn towards it. Now, with all of these emotions that we heal, we are really moving into this adage that if we can feel it, we can heal it. See if you can feel where the guilt is in the body. It's very helpful to heal emotions through the emotional body. It's easier to track emotions as we feel them physically, which they do. They move through the system. They move like weather through the body. Letting go for now the story in the mind that can just continue to flood us with the guilt. Just let the story move into the background a bit. And see what it's like to just drop down into where you feel it in the body. Where do you feel, as I was saying, for me, guilt is a heaviness. Do you feel the weight of guilt in your heart? Do you feel it down in your gut? And it is going to be a little bit painful. So only feel enough to tap into the experience in the body. Let go of guilt. Let go of judgment as you feel into the guilt wherever it's in the body. Let go, if you can, a little bit of resistance to it, and just let it be part of your human condition. Where do you feel it in the body? And as you begin to track it, I'd like for you to just take a moment to recognize, this is guilt. And it can be very healing just to recognize in the moment, in a way that is accurate, what the emotion is. It does restore some balance in the brain when we can just accurately name what a painful emotion is. So just stay with it enough, feeling it in the body, and saying, yes, this is what it feels like for me in this situation. The next thing after you acknowledge it is just to allow it to be there. Now, this is this very mindful process of, you might notice in your nervous system, there kind of being a no, I don't want this to be felt. But see if you can let go of the no and just say yes. Maybe there's an opportunity for me here. If I can feel it and learn from it, there's a lot of growth on the other side. So see what it's like to just make as much space as needed for this experience to be felt. Just say yes energetically. And notice how, in any way, the guilt in the body, wherever it's landing and living, see if there's a shift in any way. Maybe, maybe not. And it's very important with any painful emotion to hold it with compassion, with self-compassion. It's the only way that we can be with these painful emotions in a way that is skillful and that allows for healing and growth. So, as we do often with healing emotions, wherever you feel it in the body, I'd like you to place hands on the body directly on that area and literally hold and soothe and provide a little bit of support there. Just some self-compassion. Let the hands on the body be evidence, be tactile, be a real message to the whole system that you are here with compassion, that you're holding this as an opportunity. That way the heart can grow, can heal itself. So see if you can just bring some really warm support to your body wherever you feel it. And as you do that, see if there's a softening around the experience, an opening, perhaps. You can see for yourself what it's like to hang in with this process. But let there be a really palpable flavor of warm self-compassion. Let the warmth of your hands on the body holding this region where you feel any guilt, the heaviness of it, let it be supportive. And notice how that helps the process move forward. Next, and you can keep your hands on the body as a way to continue to let that flavor of self-compassion to be a companion throughout the rest of this process. See if you can now move into where the learning and the growth can be in this situation. See if you can still keep that situation alive in your mind's eye, continually placing yourself there so that you can still tap into the situation that's triggering some guilt for you. Refresh that in your mind's eye. And now begin to sense into what are my values that I am not into, that I've trespassed or disregarded. What is the deep value that I need to pay attention to? Is it a value to do no harm to others? Is it a value to really respect others and yourself? So see if you can feel into what the deep value is that has been trespassed in some way in this situation, and drop into alignment. Acknowledge that this is a deep value. This is something important to you that you do not want to trespass, that you want to stay in alignment. So see if you can drop back into alignment with that deep value, even in this situation in which there's been a trespass of some kind, a misalignment, for whatever reason. You don't have to get caught too much into that. Feel into the value here, your deep best self. And as you do, as you find that connection to your deep values in this situation, you can then begin to acknowledge for yourself, what kind of growth is this? What's the opportunity here? How can I make this right? And there is a beautiful natural process that you can feel into from your best self now that you've dropped into that, connected to it. What is needed now to make this good? Take a moment to just reflect for yourself. Is there an action that's needed? An amends, as someone shared in the chat? Is there something that can be done? Is there an apology? Some action? And as you feel into what that might be, feel into the goodness of that, of regaining your good values as you do that this is wholesome and wonderful. That on the other side of guilt is an opportunity It's a wake-up call. It's a returning back into, or a knowing, a reestablishing of what is our deep value that we want to honor in this situation. So take a moment now to really acknowledge if something does come to mind of what you can do that will bring about some balance again, that will bring some relief, that will bring some healing as you attend to this guilt, this guilty feeling, and make note of it that this is something you now can do. If it's not clear anything that you need to do, that's okay. You can hang out with the experience and still allow yourself to contemplate, to reflect on what is the deeper value that I need to develop here in this situation. Maybe there's a new value that's waiting to be known, to be developed in this heart that will guide you in life with much, much more skill. Give yourself so much credit for taking this time to feel into the opportunity and the healing here. And let's let that situation now just dissolve. You can let that go completely in your mind's eye. And let's just take a minute now, just resting in present moment awareness as we did at the beginning. Excuse me. Feeling the gentle breath in the body, returning to that as a very reassuring, reliable flow in the present moment, just returning to that breath, always here, no effort needed, and just rest in the gentle waves of breath now. Moving into that integrative experience of present moment embodiment. And if you like, as you breathe in this way, you can also return to that support of the earth. The earth is always there holding and guiding and supporting you, even when you make mistakes, even when you fall out of alignment with your best values or your best self, which we all do. The earth is there again, always supporting us, always connecting, providing stability and support. So before we end this guided practice, take a moment to just reflect. What was this like? What did I notice was actually turning toward the guilt in this mindful way? That process of allowing, of letting go of resistance, which is so normal whenever a painful emotion arises for whatever reason. What's it like to let go of the resistance and to allow it to be there as an opportunity? Was that somewhat reassuring? You can know for yourself. And through the process, was there a value that you could get in touch with that just needs more and more attention, that you need to drop back into that? And when you do, the action, the amends, what have you, whatever that might be more clear. So I'll just ring this prayer bowl to end the guided practice. And I invite you to open your eyes. And once again, we're in good company. So it's such a beautiful thing for this last minute, just to reflect and share. And I'm really excited to see if there's any questions in the chat. And I see one. It says, sometimes guilt can be paralyzing. Yes. Do you have any mantras or affirmations that are helpful when feeling guilty? This is a very beautiful question, and it's very personal. I'll just say a few words about it. For me, what is reassuring is kind of what I offered in the practice. When guilt arises for me, may I know this to be an opportunity for growth. May I see it as a really beautiful bell in my heart that's bringing me back to my best self. So for me, the mantra would be, may I return, may I know my best self. May it guide me back into balance, and may it guide me into more growth, into being the best self I can be. So I'll offer that just very briefly. But more important, beautiful question. The words that land for you into your best self are those that you can find for yourself in your own experience. So thank you for joining me. We're out of time for now. It's been a joy, truly, to heal guilt together. And remember that you can meditate too with Round Glass live every single day. Join us again tomorrow or anytime. Check us out on round.glass or on our app, of course. And I'll be back next Wednesday for my next live session. Until then, be well. Thank you.